Hey guys, welcome back to PoleArms. This is Doug. Today we're going to be doing another product review. We're going to be looking at the Bastion replacement magazine base plate with pinky extension slash grip extension for my M&P Shield 9mm. Little spoiler alert, it's going to be a negative review. Just the luck of the draw, guys. If you've seen some of my reviews so far on my channel, they've tended to be negative. Again, just luck of the draw. That's just what I chose to review at that time. But and they're fair and honest reviews. And sometimes you give a negative review, sometimes you give a positive review. They've just all so far been negative. But I promise you tune back in. You come back and see some of the reviews I have planned for the very near future, and there are going to be some positives, some positive reviews mixed in, promise. But again, positive or negative, they're all fair and honest. I've bought all these things with my money. Nobody's sending me anything, nobody's paying me anything to review these things one way or the other. So good or bad, you're getting a fair and honest review from me. So again, you will see some positive reviews in the future, but this ain't going to be one of them. Okay guys, here is the base plate out of the packaging. You know, it's solid, it's well made, anodized aluminum. A little bit thicker than your standard base plate. If you can see that here, trying to compare the two thickness wise. Oh, there we go. Anyway, a little bit thicker, which is what I wanted. The whole reason I got this is because I carry only the 8-round magazines, and everything is unloaded, no rounds anywhere to be found, no rounds to be seen, cleared. The whole reason I bought this was for just a little extra length to the grip for my pinky. I have pretty good size hands. I like the Shield, specifically the 8-round extended magazines, because I can actually get a relatively full grip on that pistol. You know, my pinky fits on there, but it could fit on there just a little bit better. I still have some room to where if I'm not cramming my fingers together to fit up there, it would just be a little bit better with a little more meat at the bottom. But I also didn't want to add a crazy amount of length to the grip. A lot of the +1s, +2s, you know, the magazine extensions that add rounds or add capacity, a lot of those add just too much length to the grip. I am still carrying this every day, concealing it every day. So I just wanted a little bit more. If I could find one with extra rounds without giving me a crazy addition to the length, great. But primarily I was just interested in, like I said, getting just a little more purchase with that pinky. I looked all around. Like I said, a lot of the magazine extensions from Hive and Striker and you know, a couple other brands, they just added too much length to that grip. So came across these guys. Also came across a version very similar to this from NDZ, and I'll talk more about them a little bit later on. But I decided to go with the Bastion. Again, a little bit thicker, has that subtle pinky extension, and so it really kind of checked all the boxes for me. Looked really good, but that's about where my positive comments end. This is going to be a pretty negative review for these things. I really don't like them, and I'll get into why specifically. Again, bought them specifically for the 8-round magazines. Quick note on this too. The Shield 8-round magazines are notoriously awful. Not the magazines themselves, but the sleeve, the sleeve extension that comes with these things are notoriously awful. They do not stay in place. You put them you put your spare magazine in a mag holder on your hip, or you put your magazine in your pistol in the holster. You go to draw your pistol, or you go to get your spare magazine, and you see that it ends up, something like that. Now, if you were in a real self-defense situation, and you really had to defend yourself or your family or someone else, and you had to go for your spare magazine, and this is what you pull out, it would make seating that thing in a stressful, real life, life on the line situation. It would make that pretty difficult. So these things are awful. I actually had to try to super glue it with just basic super glue. That didn't work. Ended up finding some specialty polymer super glue. It's a two-stage process that I guess kind of fuses the polymer together. Ended up using that. It's worked great. I've thrown these things down on the ground during IDPA competitions. They've stayed intact, so it worked out great. But in order to switch out the base plate, I actually had to use a utility knife and a pair of grips to break that thing free. So let's get to it. So let's take this guy off. Sorry to bump the camera. Go ahead and pop off the factory base plate. Slip the new one on, and I'll show you the first problem I have with the Bastion replacement base plates. Yeah, there it is right there. So I noticed this right away as soon as I installed it. Trying to get it in the light here. But if you can see that, now this base plate is seated as far as it's going to go. Okay, that's all the way over. And you can see there's a gap, there's space. There's space that actually goes down into the body of the magazine. That is no bueno, no good. That just opens up your magazine, your ammunition, to all kinds of junk, particulate, sand, dust, whatever. It needs to be just a smidgen longer and completely cover the base of that magazine, but it doesn't. So that alone was a deal breaker for me. But I went ahead, put the sleeve back on, thought I'd fit it on the pistol and see what it was all about. Put the sleeve back on, then you notice the second problem. Now I knew this thing was a little bit thicker, a little bit longer than your standard base plate. I talked about that just a little while ago. So I knew there was going to be kind of a discrepancy in that. I knew it wasn't going to be necessarily flush with the bottom of that sleeve, but it really isn't. You can see, yeah, how much of a gap there is, and aesthetically, cosmetically, not necessarily a huge problem. But then you actually go and put it in the pistol. Again, nothing is loaded, no ammunition anywhere. The gun is safe. Put it in the pistol. Try to get over the white stripes there so you can see. There's that gap I was talking about. But that corner right there, I mean, this thing is anodized aluminum. That corner is pointy, sharp. It is not rounded off or broken whatsoever. And as soon as I gripped the pistol for the first time, I knew there was no way I could actually shoot this pistol with these replacement base plates in place. That point just digs right into the meat of your palm. It is awful. There is no way that would be comfortable to shoot. And I thought, well, maybe they were more intended for the 7-round magazines. I don't carry my 7-round magazines. Sometimes I take them to IDPA matches for a spare if I need to. If I am shooting the Shield, which I don't do. The Performance Center comes with a ported barrel, so I can't use that in competition. I did a previous review on a non-ported replacement barrel that I thought I was going to be able to use for competition and didn't like that thing. You can go back and find that review on YouTube somewhere out in the YouTuberverse. So anyway, never really used the 7-round magazine. But I thought, hey, maybe this Bastion base plate would fit better on the 7-rounder. But no such luck. Same exact issue. It's just not engineered properly, and it's not engineered to fit to completely cover the magazine. It leaves that same gap, and it's again still, and I knew that, still thicker than the original base plates, and that corner is obviously still right there. The only difference is it digs into my palm a little bit higher than the 8-round. So across the board, guys, the Bastion replacement base plate with pinky extension, slash grip extension for the M&P Shield 9mm. 2 thumbs down. Can't recommend it at all. They need to make a couple changes, I think, before they continue selling these things. They need to obviously make the base plate longer, make sure it completely covers the base of that magazine, get rid of that gap so you're not possibly contaminating the interior of your magazine, your ammunition, etc. So that's a must. And then also, it's just they've got to figure out, I don't know if they need to put a serious rounded corner on there. They need to break that edge, break that corner, because it's just not shootable. It's just not usable. It hurts. It digs into your palm. No good. So can't recommend it, guys. There are a couple options. I think I'm going to look into the NDZ version, because the NDZs, I noticed online, they have 2 different versions of this guy. They do have one that is very, very similar, almost identical to this guy, which would result in the same issue, that exposed corner digging into your palm. But they have a second version where they have a flat piece of aluminum that continues over. It would continue over and completely cover the base of that, the base of the pistol. If you're using the 7-rounder, it would cover the base. Sorry, you can see that polymer adhesive all over this thing, but it would cover the base of the sleeve for the 8-rounder. Again, piece of metal that just kind of flushes over top that back, which completely eliminates that exposed corner because it just doesn't exist. You have extra material, extra aluminum that extends out and is rounded off to cover the back of the grip. So I think I'm going to check those guys out. If I do, I will shoot another video, do another review, and keep you posted on that. There's also a possibility I might just go ahead and deal with some of the extra length that some of the the +1s and +2s provide. Possibly even looking at the mag guts, which for the Shield 8-round adds about a 1/4 inch, excuse me, to the bottom. And just from pictures and videos, it seems like that's too much length, more than I'm looking for. But I think maybe the reality might be it might be acceptable. So I may possibly look into those. Regardless of which way I go, I of course will shoot a video, do another review, and keep you guys posted. Guys, thanks for checking out my channel again. Hopefully you've seen some of my other videos on YouTube. Keep coming back. I'm always posting new reviews, new discussions, etc., etc. If you like this video, got something out of it, please like me below. Please subscribe, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks, guys. You have a good day.